Hey everyone, it's Ethan Ormis back again for another video today, and welcome back to the channel, guys. We're here again for yet another video, and I'm very excited for today's video. We've got major 3 pick'em predictions coming up for you guys, and yeah, I'm pretty excited. We've got a fun weekend ahead of us, I'm sure. I'm going to try to actually watch COD this weekend, because I basically have not watched COD all year. I'm not going to lie, it's just, yeah, I don't know, it hasn't been too much of an interest for me lately, and I haven't been playing COD either, so that probably has some part to do with it. But yeah, ever since my Toronto boys broke up, I'm just not as invested, unfortunately, because that was my favorite team ever. So yeah, anyways, let's talk about it. We've got an interesting major coming up. We'll go in order for today's matches. So we've got starting off Toronto versus New York. And it really sucks having either of these teams heading into losers round one. And I think it'll be a pretty close series. I would imagine it goes the distance. And I feel like this time it will be Toronto that's going to be better, though. Unfortunately, putting the subliners down in losers. I don't really know if I have faith in either of those teams to really pull something off this weekend, but you never know. So, with that being said, let's continue on to our 4 o'clock match, which is Seattle versus LAG. And honestly, I just don't have faith in this Seattle team. I really think they just had a very easy bracket online, but I think I will give them the edge in this first series. But I don't think they'll do much after that. But we'll get back to that momentarily. Sending the Gorillas down to losers. And then Boston versus Texas. Obviously, it is the Texas major, so the fans are going to be on Texas's side even more than normal. But I just think Boston's the better team, to be honest. So I'm going to give this to the Breach, sending Texas down to losers round one. And unfortunately, we have another just crazy series that one of these teams have to go down to losers between Atlanta and Los Angeles Thieves. And I'm going to give it to Atlanta in 5 games. I think this will be a very close day of matches, which means I believe we also have one more match for today. Never mind. Everything is, that's it for today, sorry. So then moving on to tomorrow, we'll of course start off, we only have losers matches tomorrow, but LAG versus Vegas, this one is really tough to call. I think both of these teams could honestly do something. You know what? No, I don't have faith in Seattle. I'm giving it to the Gorillas. I feel more confident in the Gorillas and Vegas than Seattle. I think Seattle just had a very easy bracket and or qualifiers, and that's why I don't think that they're going to win. And I'm going to give the edge to Vegas here. I don't have any faith in the Seattle team. I could absolutely see people having faith in this team, but I think they had arguably the easiest qualifiers of the year. So I'm not going to give them a win. Sorry, Seattle fans. Then we've got the Thieves versus the Rocker. Obviously, anything could happen on land, so I'll give the Rocker a map, but no, the Rocker have won 2 maps in all of this major so far. I don't have faith in the Rocker at all, either. But I say I don't have faith in Seattle, but at least they've won series. Minnesota's won like 4 maps this entire major so far. So let's continue on to Texas and London, which will be a pretty interesting series. I would give the edge to Texas, though. I'll give it to them in 5 games. Could you imagine if Texas bowed out top 12 at their own event? That would be hilarious. Then we've got New York versus Florida. I will give the edge to New York. 3-1 fashion. And then to end off Friday's matches, we've got Vegas versus the Thieves, which I will give to the Thieves in 4 games. I think that'll be a pretty fun and close series as well. But then we move on to Saturday's matches, which we'll start off with Texas and New York, of course. And I have more faith in this New York team. Texas will bow out at top 8 at their own major. Then we move up to the winners bracket. We've got Atlanta versus LAG, which I will give it to Atlanta. I would love to see our cities go on a revenge tour here and take down Atlanta. That would be fucking awesome. I just don't know if that'll happen, but that would be fucking sick, and you never know, right? So then moving on to Boston and Toronto, a really fun series that'll await us, I'm sure. I don't know who to give it to here. I was leaning more towards Boston for a second, but I mean, I feel like I have more faith in Toronto on land. This will be Bean's first experience on land. Well, land in the pro scene at least. Um, yeah, you know what? Consistency for Toronto over the breach. I'll give it to Toronto in 4 games. And then we move on to LAG versus New York, which will be a fun one as well, which I will give to the subliners having the Gorillas place top 6. So not bad. I will give it to the subliners in 5. And then to end off Saturday's matches, we've got Boston versus LAT, which I will give to LAT in 3-0 fashion, but I think it'll be a very close series. I don't think it'll be a 3-0 sweep. It'll be a 3-0 war. And then we move on to Sunday. We've got, of course, to finish things off on Sunday, the winners' final between Atlanta and Toronto. I'm going to give the edge to Atlanta. Maybe a map goes to Toronto, but yeah, Toronto will go down to the losers' finals. LAT versus New York. I give the edge to the Thieves in relatively easy fashion. And then Toronto and LAT to meet Atlanta in the final. I think it'll be the LA Thieves. I don't have much confidence in any other team apart from these 2 teams, but ultimately I do think Atlanta wins this series again in very similar fashion to the last one. So with that being said, let's save my predictions. We will see what happens. Of course, matches start in about 15 minutes. So that's pretty exciting. I feel pretty decent about this bracket. We'll see what happens. I mean, I don't really like voting for Atlanta to win, but they are just the best team in the league right now, and that's very clear. Where it's been new every major heading into the predictions for the major, but this time I can firmly say that I believe Atlanta is the best team in the league, and we'll see what happens. So with that being said, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy. Let me know your thoughts on my bracket. Let me know your predictions. Who do you think is going to win the event? And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.